Hello YouTube, I'm the Gaming Pegasus 187, and this is Side Scroller Sunday episode 11, back to our regularly scheduled gaming videos, and done with random challenges for charity. Yeah, so, I've had an interesting weekend. Now, I also follow mixed martial arts. I'll get into some wrestling stuff here, in a minute, but so this past Friday, they had some more MMA fights, and my buddy Ty, who had nominated me to do the Ice Bucket Challenge, also fought on the card. Well, one of the fights, there were 7 on the card, only 6 happened because one guy legit backed out last minute. Yeah, he legit, I guess the promoter threw him out. He was like, oh, I'm not fighting because my opponent didn't make weight. Like, a load of just bullshit. Like, if you back out like that, you should honestly be blacklisted from any MMA. Just blacklisted. There is no, I don't care. You go out there and you get your ass kicked, you get your ass kicked. Big whoop. Ugh. Yeah, it's one of those. Which I've never seen before, but yeah. I basically shared the video of the guy's opponent making weight. And I said jabroni status, but if because I'm usually pretty PG on Facebook, at least with what I post. If people comment and swear, that's not my problem. But I would have said I would qualify as the Mosquito Dick Jabroni status. We've gone full on Iron Sheik. Anyway, after I managed to talk about SummerSlam for a half hour, the only big thing is we now have TNA Impact on Wednesday nights, because SmackDown is moving to Thursdays. So for the first time in, 9 years, I think, SmackDown is back on Thursday nights. So the big thing, the Thanksgiving tradition is coming back. But we have Dean Ambrose. Seth Rollins is cutting a promo backstage. Dean Ambrose dumps a bucket of ice water on his head. It's like, what? It's for charity. Hits him with it and starts brawling with him. So we're getting Ambrose and Rollins again. We've got more than likely next pay-per-view Divas title. We're going to get AJ versus Paige again. As much as we've already had Eva Marie beat the Divas champion twice on TV. And we've also had Natalya beat the Divas champion twice on TV. I do not want to see Eva Marie in another Divas title match. The only I'd ranted enough about the big 14 clusterfuck bullshit match, but oh my god. Anyway, nothing eventful. We're getting Lesnar Cena again. I pray to God we don't get Cena wins, LOL. I'd rather see Brock hold on to it to a few, ideally till WrestleMania, and you don't need him on every pay-per-view. Like literally, have him wrestle because they're Night Champions. Have him do Survivor Series. Have him do the Rumble. Maybe have him do TLC. I don't know. But you could do something else, because it never used to be like the WWE, the title would never be defended every pay-per-view like it is now. So when you bring Lesnar out for a match to defend his title, it's gonna mean something. I just don't want to see Lesnar lose and then all of a sudden Cena 16-time champion. No one wants to see that. Bully Ray might be done with TNA, as I talked about legit last week. So, yeah, it looks like his last, actually, as I'm recording this, it's 8 o'clock on Sunday, and I'm just over being completely hungover. Not only were the fights, but, combined birthday party yesterday. Yeah. So, yeah, the Ice Bucket Challenge, I just saw Velvet Sky do it. Thank God. And it was absolutely hilarious. But back to what I was fucking talking about, before I get into bullshit TNA. I would like to see Batista, maybe do a Batista-Lesnar. I think that'd be the only time Batista would actually get cheered, but I don't know. There's a lot of guys they could, possibly throw in there if you like. They could still do, Cesaro. Like, I would still like to see Cesaro and Lesnar. They need to build Cesaro back up quick, because they have all but have him go full-on Sandow Gate. And what I mean by that is they went from having Damian Sandow with the Money in the Bank contract to losing to Superman, then jobbing out every week and coming out in some ridiculous costume. But you got Hulk Hogan mad that, because Lesnar went off script. Shut up. Shut up, Hogan. Go away. I'm officially over. Okay, speaking of Hogan, I'm officially over the $9.99 thing. It's fine when you're advertising it, but when you're just shoehorning it into promos, and they legit opened it, like I said, they legit opened up SummerSlam. $9.90. Fuck. I'm over the $9.99 crap. I'm absolutely over it. TNA. I just watched the recent Botchamania. Anderson and Gunner. Or was it Anderson and Shaw? No, it was Anderson Gunner, I think. But yeah, the crowd absolutely hated the match. There was a CM Punk chant. I don't know why. CM Punk was in TNA for a time. That was 2003. And then the crowd started singing Adam Rose's theme song. I feel like I like Anderson. Gunner, okay. Sam Shaw, he's, creepy little bastard 2.0. God. But the real shit kicker of the show, and this was absolute shit, was Dixie Carter back on TV. They couldn't fucking wait more than 1 week to have her back. She's apparently, this whole fucking, she doesn't have a broken back in the first storyline anyway, but if they're gonna sell her having, a broken back when Bully powerbombed her through the table, they have her, she's sitting up in bed, which I don't think you're supposed to be able to do that if you have a broken back, doing an interview with Mike Tenay, and you can see her adjust, and it's like, you know what, go away, Dixie, never come back to TV. They're already hyping her big return to TV that no one wants to see. Speaking of shit no one wants to see, I almost forgot, a Bella versus Bella feud. Oh god, no. No one wants to see that. We went from having we had at least one pay-per-view where there's actually 2 Divas match that people actually gave a shit about. But, now we're apparently gonna get Nikki versus Brie. Why? Because fuck you, that's why. No one wants to goddamn see it at all. But bullshit TNA. Yeah. Oh yeah, Genesis 2006. Yeah, Abyss wins the NWA World Heavyweight title from Sting via disqualification. So, Sting hanging Abyss from the rafters by his ankles and beating him with a baseball bat, not a DQ. They should have been, counted out way before this to begin with. This wasn't even, because with the rule back then, it was that if you're counted out or DQ'd, you would lose a title. And, that old, which definitely stupid, because you have Sting just they just brawl over the arena. There's no count out, but it's Sting clotheslining the referee. That's too far. You hang your opponent from the ceiling, beat him with a baseball bat, not a DQ, but... And then, they go on to this feud involving Judas Messias. Yeah, I ended up getting a really good match with the only other time they did Barbed Wire Massacre, but... Oh my, crap, I don't even know where the hell it is now. Shit. What? Andrew Test Martin randomly debuted, picked up the nickname The Punisher, went over in the main event of Hard Justice, and promptly disappeared. Martin was very likely the only guy in TNA ever fired because he was too muscular. While normally this would be one of the dumbest things ever, it made sense because Congress had just put professional wrestling under a microscope regarding steroid abuse in the wake of the Benoit tragedy, and Martin was a walking red flag at the time. He was told he can come back when he lost some muscle mass. He never came back. At first he retired later in the year and then died 2 years later. According to the Congressional Committee on Oversight and Government Reform, released to the public in 2009, 60 of the TNA wrestlers tested in January of 2007. 26 tested positive for drugs. 15 of those tested were positive for steroids. Yeah. Yeah, let's see, Abyss lost NWA World title in a 3-way elimination match after Sting eliminated him first, as they repaid Sting by costing him the match. For this reason, Sting looked up Abyss's public records and discovered Abyss served time for shooting his father in the back. After both a prison yard match and the Last Rites match, Abyss's longtime manager, controller James Mitchell, appeared on Impact with Abyss's mother. As it turns out, Mom Abyss shot Abyss's father, and her son took the blame for her. Mitchell can control Abyss because he knew the truth about the shooting, presumably because he later revealed the identity as Abyss's real father. So he later revealed his identity as Abyss's real father, and threatened to call the police. For some reason, Tomko was involved. His involvement was never really explained. Like a lot of shit going on in TNA, never really explained. At one point, Sting said he wanted Abyss to die. This led to the first, and if there is a god, only Last Rites match at Destination X. The two fought in TNA's version of a casket match, which involved obnoxious and unnecessary theatrics, such as candelabras placed on every ring post, headstones placed around the ring they use as weapons, and a casket referred to as a deathbed lowered from the ceiling before getting raised back up after the conclusion of the match. Sting won. Abyss's death lasted 11 days. This match was especially noteworthy for being the first time the Fire Russo chant was heard. Dixie responded to this by threatening to fire someone other than Russo every time it was chanted. The chant continued to be heard. Dixie never followed through on her threat. Abyss's feud with Sting ended up humanizing him, which killed any remaining mystique to his character, especially when he started talking. TNA then practically ripped off the entirety of the Undertaker, Kane, Paul Bearer storyline, with its storyline involving Abyss, Judas Messias, and James Mitchell. Judas Messias sucked more balls than Pat Patterson. was far too short to be any real threat to Abyss, and the feud itself lasted a number of terrible gimmick matches, while Dutch Mantel ended up taking the blame for this crap fest. He also said Dutch would later say that Russo deserved the blame. Macias was injured midway through in a gimmick match in Mexico, so TNA threw Black Rain and Relic, which was killer spelled backwards, by the way, into the feud for no goddamn reason. Macias himself wouldn't last long with the company after returning, and TNA wasn't willing to pay him what he was making in Mexico. For the record, if you actually bought into the kayfabe of the storyline, then James Mitchell became a father at the age of 9, making this one of the worst things TNA ever did. Dutch Mantel during his issue, you don't hear anyone fucking chanting "Fire Dutch" now, do you? And we'll start on one more wonderful little Russo load of bullshit before I'm done. So, the 2000 WCW Monday Night Wars. I actually just watched the first episode of the Monday Night Wars on the WWE Network. Really damn good. So, in the span of not even 6 months, you had David Arquette, WCW World Title, and then Vince Russo would win it thereafter. Russo still defends Arquette winning the title to this day, saying, well, you want to try and get eyes on your company, so what better way to have Arquette win the title? Well, Arquette didn't want to do it. They basically forced it on him. Of course, he would, drop it 3 weeks later by swerve and turn on DDP to help Jeff Jarrett. But because I also watched the top 10 celebrity involvement, deal on the WWE Network, and yeah, they have Arquette on there. You have Punk in an interview saying, I don't even want to talk about it. But I would argue Russo winning the title be worse because there was at least a point. I mean, it failed miserably, but there was at least a point to Arquette winning the title. There was no point in Russo doing it other than fuck you. Then I don't give a shit. Screw you. I'm a wrestler now for one brief, and of course, and then he gave up the belt. I think the legit next Nitro. That was a Thunder. He won Thunder. He won on the Thunder. He won the belt, and then the next Monday Nitro he dropped it. And of course, I think it was up for grabs in the Tower of Doom. The 3-tiered cage, which was ridiculous. Which actually wasn't a bad gimmick match, but I think if they had did it, like 98, maybe 90, 97, 98, when they were really damn hot. But the fact that one of them involved David Arquette and the other was for a vacant title, and the rules changed legit between the two matches. The one with Arquette, the first one, you had to go up and grab the belt. The second one, you had to end up being like a war game style. I think everyone had to be in the cage. You had to climb up, grab the belt, and then go back down through the cages and exit out the door. WCW, Russo logic. Fuck you. Okay. That does it. I am going to relax. I'm going to play a lot more WWE Supercard. Follow me on Twitter. All my shit's going to be down in the description. Find me on the Hey Listen Video Game Podcast. You can find me on the Users Podcast, whenever we actually sit down and record. You can also find me on the Slamcast, and mostly everyone I have challenged to do the Ice Bucket Challenge has, which a lot of really good ones. But that does it for me. Pegasus out.